Ahead of Portland's first game of the 2022-2023 NBA season, I asked members of the Blazers team what they remembered from their NBA debuts. They ranged from memorable to forgettable to embarrassing to, quite frankly, iconic. These are the stories from the Portland Trail Blazers' first games in the NBA.
You are Locked On Trailblazers, your daily Portland Trailblazers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
At some point on Wednesday evening in Sacramento, or perhaps later this week, Trailblazers rookie Shaedon Sharpe will step onto the NBA court for the first time, marking his NBA debut. His teammate, fellow rookie Jabari Walker, probably won't be much further behind, getting his first taste of NBA action. It's an important moment for any rookie's career, a literal first step to begin their NBA journeys. NBA debuts are unique, specific to the player, and often dictated by their role and status within the organization. Some, like Sharpe's teammate Damian Lillard, are remarkable and memorable. Lillard's NBA career began in Portland in the home opener against the Lakers, the dawn of the brief but highly touted Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, Pau Gasol era. Lillard scored 23 points and dished out 11 assists in a Portland win. He told me back in 2016, when I worked on a similar story, that he remembered staying up late with his family the night before the game, not really nervous about playing in the first action of his NBA career. But Lillard's experience is rare for so many reasons. However, he isn't alone in memorable debuts. Ahead of Portland's first game of this 2022-2023 season, I asked members of the team what they remembered from their first NBA action. Like Lillard, Chauncey Billups' NBA debut was a notable one. It came against the two-time reigning champion Chicago Bulls and Michael Jeffrey Jordan in what would be his last dance in Chicago.
I mean, obviously it was Michael Jordan, you know. I was really excited, I was really nervous. The very first game he was playing against the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan, it was unbelievable. The matchup was Steve Kerr, so I didn't really get to guard Michael. But I was obviously out there the whole time, kind of in awe, kind of just staring at him, watching him, looking at his shoes. Of course, I will never forget that.
Not all debuts are glamorous or notable. Just ask Nassir Little and Josh Hart.
I think we was losing, was getting blown out, and they had put me in late in the fourth. Shot an air ball. And then got a couple runs up and down, and the game was over.
That's a good debut.
Yeah, I mean, you know, not everybody can have the Michael Carter Williams type debut, so got to start somewhere.
Only reason why I got in because we were getting our ass whooped by New Orleans, and shit, look at that. Came back, and then Luke took my ass out.
How long did you play?
I want to say probably like 15 minutes.
Oh no, that was actually my second game. I think actually my first one I played like
A minute, if that.
a minute.
Yeah.
And that was New Orleans.
No, that
Or that was
was
somebody else?
I was in LA, Lakers.
No, like who'd you play
All
against?
right, like Phoenix put me in like last minute of the game, I think, some shit like that. Yeah, let's say the other one is my debut.
So you count your real debut as 15 minutes in a blowout.
Yeah, but we came back though.
You win?
No, but we were down 20. Put me in, and we went up like 3 or 4, and he took me out. And then we lost.
Plus minus king.
Hey, plus minus was elite. I won that day.
The first moments of NBA action can come with nerves, like it did when Jerami Grant made his debut with the Philadelphia 76ers back in 2014.
I believe my NBA debut. Yeah, I don't remember too much, but I just remember just being on the court and almost feeling like a little dizzy. You know what I mean? Like a little surreal feeling. You know, just stepping out there and like getting to live the dream that you've been dreaming of for so long. It was one of those feelings. So I played about 2 minutes. My coach took me out. He seen I was kind of like in a daze, and then he told me get my shit together, and he put me right back in the game. And then I was fine after that.
Was that Brett Brown?
Well, Lloyd Pierce. Yeah, Brett Brown's the head coach.
But Lloyd was.
But Lloyd the one.
He recognized you that you were having a little trouble.
Yeah. Not even trouble. He was just like you got to lock in. Like I was doing all the things I was supposed to, but I was just like a little antsy. So he yanked me, put me right back in the game. Like maybe 30 seconds later or some shit like that.
For other members of the Blazers, their NBA debuts weren't particularly noteworthy, but there were some early welcome to the league moments that were early reminders that they had made it to the NBA, as Anfernee Simons, Trendon Watford, and Drew Eubanks shared with me.
My first time getting in the game was against, what was my first game I got in? Oh, Houston. It was in Houston. That's my first time getting in the game. I got in it for like 20 seconds.
What do you remember from those 20 seconds?
I was taking the ball out. As soon as I got in the game, I think I almost turned it over. And then we just went up and down one time, and
that was it. That was the game. Were there any other like stars in the game, or was it all like young guys?
No, it was all young guys. We were blowing them out at that point. The only time I remember first getting in the game was against my preseason first game was we played in Vancouver. Remember that?
Yeah.
We played against the Raptors. They ended up winning the championship that year.
Yeah.
And so when we got in, I think they still had their starters in. And it was like Kawhi, Danny Green, Kyle Lowry, all them.
So that was kind of being like, oh shit, I'm in the league.
Yeah, that was probably the craziest part of it. Yeah.
I was here. We were playing the Blazers, and I got in. We were getting blown out, and I got in with like 2 minutes to go. I really wanted to score, so I just like kept faking DHOs. So I finally got a hook shot, and I ended up scoring my first points here.
Was your family here?
Yeah, they were here. Yep.
So it was pretty fun.
Yeah, yeah. I had played here before, obviously in college, high school.
Yeah.
But to play on the NBA stage was cool, and to be able to score my first 2 points here was cool.
Did you have early on like a sort of welcome to the NBA moment when you were like, lining up or whatever, and like, oh shit, who's that?
Yeah. We were playing the Warriors, and like another story, we were down 30 like in the third quarter, so I got to go in early. And they had on the court, it was DeMarcus Cousins, KD, Steph, Clay, and Draymond. And there was just one play where they just it like resurfaces every couple like months or something, but it's like a clip of them just like passing it back and forth. And you see me like I'm closing out like in five different possessions, and finally Steph gets in the corner, he shot fakes, I go flying into their bench, and then he just sidesteps, cashes it, starts running the other way. I look like a dumbass running around.
He said, welcome to the league.
Yeah. So I like closed out on like 6 different people, or 5 different people, 6 different times on that one play. So that was my welcome to NBA moment.
What do you remember about your NBA debut?
I was nervous. I think we were in Utah. No, we were in Denver. We lost that game pretty bad. That was the first time because I had dressed. Prior to that, I didn't dress out the first like 26 games, I believe, something like that. So got the chance to dress out against Utah, and we lost pretty bad, but that was my first time getting some NBA minutes.
Did you play? Is there anyone were you like in there with Gobert or whatever? Anyone you were like, oh shit, I'm in the NBA?
No, we were in Denver.
Oh,
we were in
Denver?
Denver. Yeah, we were in Denver, and no, I don't think like any of their stars was in, like any of their starters were in. I think their second unit was in, like Jeff Green and Bones Highland and those guys. So,
But there wasn't like a welcome to the NBA moment, lining up on a free throw or anything where you're like, oh.
Nah, not then. Man, when we played the Lakers, that was like a welcome to the NBA moment. Look to my right, it was AD. Look to my left, it was Bron. Looked across from me. Who was their point guard last year? I don't even remember, but yeah.
Probably Russ.
Melo, all those.
Yeah, like so literally your childhood.
That was like the welcome to the moment. Yeah. I was in LA.
It's like your childhood is just out there on the court. Like a 2K moment.
Literally.
Awesome.
Literally.
And some rookies don't need a welcome to the NBA moment. They're ready to announce their arrival on their own, like Justice Winslow did as a 19-year-old with the Miami Heat back in 2015.
We played the Charlotte Hornets, home opener. I had first shot was a 3, like transition 3. I made it. They went down and like missed the layup or something. And then I got the ball on the left wing, and then I dunked on 2 people.
So your first 2 buckets in the league were a 3 and a dunk.
Mm-hmm.
You were the truth.
Still am.
Yes. Do you remember, other than that, obviously Sort of like a welcome to the NBA moment, like a moment where you're on the court and you're like, oh, that's like the dude from video games.
Second game of the year, we went and played at Cleveland, and like Bron was hitting all type of crazy fadeaways on me. But it was great defense. But like he was just.
But yeah, you were checking him and you were like, oh, this is LeBron James.
I think like before the game, D Wade might have told him. I don't know for sure, but I feel like D Wade, you know, they're close, so they talked before the game. And I feel like D-Wade was like, oh, we got this young guy, defender, blah, blah, blah. And LeBron just made every fadeaway.
Yeah, he said, let's see. He said, 19 years old, you say?
Yeah.
The NBA season is here, and the debuts for Blazers rookies Shaedon Sharpe and Jabari Walker will likely fall somewhere on the spectrum with the rest of their teammates, from emphatic to forgettable. Or as Nassir Little put it,
gotta start somewhere.